Guys, today I'm going to be talking about Gossip Girl and its new reboot. So, if you don't know what Gossip Girl is an American teen drama television series based on the novel series of the same name written by Cicely von Ziegler, developed for television by John Schwartz and Stephanie Savage. It was broadcast on the CW for 6 seasons from September 19th, 2007 to December 17th, 2012.
It's a party Saturday, and you're kind of not invited.
The boy who wants her.
Pick me up at 8.
You really go out with some guy you don't know?
Well, you can't be worse.
Now that you know a little bit more information about the original Gossip Girl series, let's get on to talking about the topic at hand today, the reboot. So the reboot is coming out this year and it takes place at the same school, Constance, and basically Gossip Girl is back. The new cast is as follows: Emily Aylin Lind as Audrey Hope, Eli Brown as O.B. Bergman IV, Whitney Peak as Zoya Lott, Thomas Hurtney as Max Wolf, Jordan Alexander as Julian Colloway, Evan Mock as Aki Menzies, Zion Moreno as Luna La, Savannah Smith as Monet Dahan, Tavi Givenson as Kate Keller, Jonathan Fernandez, Jason Gaute, Adam Chandler Barat, Laura Benanti, and Donna Murphy. And Kristen Bell will be returning to voice Gossip Girl for the second time again. As I told you in the beginning of this video, the original Gossip Girl series aired on the CW. This new Gossip Girl will air on HBO Max, which means that they'll be able to show more adult content. The reboot will be taking place in the same universe as the OG series, so the original characters still exist and will sometimes be referenced. Let's look at what other people thought and their problems with this new cast and this reboot. So the only two things I could find on Twitter were people saying, one, that this new cast and the reboot is the well-made version of the OG cast and the OG Gossip Girl series, and they refer to the OG Gossip Girl series as the Chanel. And the second thing I found was that many people thought that the original cast looked more expensive than this cast, and other people thought that this take was racist because they're saying that they look less expensive and they think it's because of race. Now I'm going to talk about what I think about these two concerns, these two problems. So my opinion on number one, I kind of get what these people mean. Like, nothing is going to be as good as the original, and everything compared to it is subpar. But we can't deny that that's just flat out mean, because like the actors in this new series are still human beings with feelings, and it's just not a fair critique. Now moving on to the second criticism people had. If we look at the pictures that were released of what the cast is wearing versus what the OG cast wore, I can see where these people are coming from. And if you look at what they're wearing, it looks like you could get these clothes at like an H&M. And I'm not trying to be shady, but that's just the truth. And you can't deny it. I do believe that some people are oppressed about the cast being more diverse, and that some people are looking at it through a racial lens. But like, based on what they're wearing in these released photos, they look kind of cheap, and that's not a dig at the reboot and the actors and the stylists on the show. But there's a very clear difference between what the OG cast wore and what these guys are wearing in these photos. I don't think it's fair to judge this new reboot cast for terrible clothing choices and simple clothing when Vanessa as a character exists. Yeah, anyway, but I don't think it's fair to say that they're not well dressed before we've even watched the whole show. Now, let's move on to this next tweet I saw about forced diversity. I don't believe that there's anything like forced diversity. Diversity is good, period, and it can't be forced. Like if there's forced diversity, that means there's true diversity, which doesn't make any sense. That's just a silly thing that racists say when they don't want shows to be diverse. But like, I kind of do see where some people who are saying this are coming from, not the racist people. I mean, all they've been saying about it, or the main point they've been putting across, is that it's so diverse and blah blah blah. But that doesn't mean that the diversity is going to be good. And I feel like the people who are in charge of writing the show are the only people who can make it true diversity and make it a good representation of all these groups, of all these new groups that are going to be introduced to the story and introduced to the Gossip Girl world. And I just don't believe that they're going to be able to do it. And I feel like they just want to put on like this face of like, oh, we're so diverse and you should watch our show because we're diverse, because they know that it's in today's climate, it's way different than when Gossip Girl aired, because not a lot of people were talking about diversity, and now a lot of people are. So it's like their only way to market their show. I don't think they have much knowledge to tackle such serious topics about race and stuff. I don't know. Let's move on. Okay, so basically I just saw mixed reviews about this new series. Some people are super excited about it, and some people are not excited about it, and some people have concerns but they're still excited about it, and some people will flat out not watch it. So let's talk about what I like about the new reboot. It's more diverse than the original show, and in my opinion, Gossip Girl is one of the whitest shows ever on television. Like, the black girl, Vanessa, whose mom is who's black, is like, she looks white in my opinion. I'm sorry. And they never mention the fact that her mom is black ever. Like, we only get introduced to her mom once, because Vanessa's not a main character and we don't know anything about her personal life, but we only get introduced to her mom once during that stupid Thanksgiving episode that is so iconic. And the only other time she mentions her race is when she's at a party with Lily and Rufus's kid, and she mentions how white the party is, and that's how her everyday life is, because she's always around white people. There's some things I like about it, like the fact that they're going to tackle more issues, or attempt to tackle more issues, and its representation of the LGBTQ community and its diversity. Moving on to why I'm bothered about it. I personally think everybody and their mother is tired of reboots and remakes. Like, I can't get why we can't just make something new. Like, I'm tired of Hollywood remaking things just because they know they already have a guaranteed audience. It seems very cash grabby to me. And let's talk about the fact that the original Gossip Girl series didn't even end on a bang. The viewership of the original Gossip Girl series kept on going down and down, and by season 6, its average viewership was 900,000. So why are they rebooting it? Who wants to see this revival, except huge fans of the show? And I'm not coming for it. I love it, but who is this reboot for? By the end of the series, people weren't even tuning in anymore. I'm just asking why. Why remake a show that ended in 2012? Yes, I know things are different now, but this show is still fairly fresh. It hasn't even been 10 years since its last episode. The question I ask is, why not just make a completely new show? Why do you always have to attach yourself to something? Like, if it's a completely new thing with completely new characters, then just make a new show. It feels very lazy in my opinion. And what story was left to tell on the original Gossip Girl? Like, by season 3, all the storylines had ran out. The show, in quality, kept on going down. Like, if you compare season 1 storylines to season 5 storylines, you will see there's a complete decline in quality. In my opinion, the show had run its course, and the viewership seemed to agree. There's nothing my video is going to do to stop it, and I do think this could be good, but I'm afraid that the writers might fall into the same mistakes they made with the original series, like villainizing the lower class and making the classist, arrogant people more likable. I really do want to like it, and I'll just have to wait and see what these new characters bring to the table and the new topics they'll tackle.